Hi, everybody. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you? Okay. Welcome to the very lame and very weird CC and JT amateur hour where production values go tonight. Over there is CC.
And over there is JT.
And if you're new to our experience, what we do is we do a weekly writers podcast every Sunday morning. Except we won't be doing it every Sunday morning in April, but we'll get
to that.
We'll get to all that. But we generally do it every Sunday morning. We sit down for half an hour, 45 minutes, and we just chat about writing and what's going on with our business. And we try to share our experiences and our thoughts on writing and our upcoming book releases and our previous book releases, things like that. We're not, everybody's cup of tea, but
at this point, we're not anybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, we basically do this to drink coffee. Oh, hold on. We basically drink this, do this to drink coffee.
We are not sponsored.
We're not sponsored.
We just like
And we do not imply that we're sponsored, but we just happen to like Jack coffee a lot. Oh, how are you doing this morning?
It's an interesting morning. It's been an interesting weekend. It's a little gloomy here today, so yeah. I don't know if I'm feeling the sads because of the weather or it's just the weekend, but it's been a little rough.
Yeah, we've definitely not been on our game. And that's through nobody's fault. It's just we've been off.
It happens. I mean, we're not always the bright, perky people that we pretend to be.
We're not even good at pretending to be that.
But definitely challenging. It's been a challenging few days.
Yeah, challenging.
We've had stuff going on.
We had stuff going on, but we really haven't. We were thinking about doing this as the March wrap-up, and then as we were sitting down, we meet on Saturday mornings to do a business meeting, and we talk about stuff. And we started right up on March, and we didn't come up with a lot because we were just busy. April's
going to be wild.
April's going to be wild, which is why we're doing this now, because we've got things going on in April, so we've got episodes planned for April. But March was just basically writing and editing. I finished a manuscript, you finished editing, and you handed it off to me. And that was about it. It really just so that's our current updates.
Well, we've also been, and we're going to be talking about this a little bit more now, but we have been setting up for our second podcast. So there's things involved with that. We've had some business things to do in the background.
Yeah.
There are things in motion for April that we got started in March. So it is, you've been working on proofs. We've had to do several rounds of proofs, getting some more paperbacks out on draft to digital. So there are things we have done. We haven't been slacking off in any way, but writing takes a lot of time.
This might be a word that some of you have never heard of before, but administrivia. It's been March was basically set up for April, and we're still set up for April. We're getting an Amazon order today, for instance, because we're doing a book signing in April. So we're getting set up for that. It's just all these little things, and we're not complaining. It's just, sometimes the life of a publishing company is not glamour and private jets and exciting time going off to weird places.
Administrivia is a good way to put it, because I know both of us probably did a lot of that when we had day jobs. Oh, by the way, today's my anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
I retired 1 year ago today.
Round of applause.
And thinking about how much has happened since I retired last year, I mean, talk about a March wrap-up, a year-end wrap-up of my first year of retirement. We have done so much.
Right. It just didn't happen in March.
No. And that's okay, because we're looking at going into probably a busy summer. We do have a slate of book releases calendared for the next few months, so we're getting those edited, and we're going to have more book covers to do, and then there's the promotion to get set up for that, and all kinds of things. So it's not like we've been slacking off at all.
Anyway, 1 year. So
1 year.
So key question. Do you think you're sleeping any better now that you've been retired?
You asked me that this morning. So there have been nights. There was one morning in particular, I remember waking up at 7:30, which is wild for me. I don't normally sleep that late.
Yeah, she keeps farmer's hours.
I definitely am a product of my childhood. But the this morning I woke up around 6 a.m. from a really bizarre dream. I haven't mentioned this to you yet, but apparently I'm thinking about organizing my holiday decorations out in the workshop.
You dreamt about nutcrackers? Oh, you don't have a nutcracker here.
No, I actually dreamt about Christmas trees.
Oh, God.
And I was thinking that it's about 8 months until I'll be setting up the Christmas trees again, and I need to get things organized.
We should have a contest one day to say, how many Christmas trees?
I don't think I could come up with an accurate count.
How many Christmas trees does CC have? And the winner gets a book or something like that. Because it's just, there with Christmas trees in every room and on multiple Christmas trees in rooms. So it's funny. But you were
And
thinking
when
about
we say
Christmas.
every room, even bathrooms, I put bottle brush trees in the bathrooms. So we're not joking when we say there is a Christmas tree in every room.
One thing I really, really like about retirement that I don't think gets a lot of, notice. One thing, I've been retired for, 2.5 years now?
Yes.
Something like that, 2.5 years, is not having to get up and scrape cars.
Oh, it's so nice because we can put things off until the cars defrost.
Yeah.
Our cars are shadowed by the house a little bit first thing in the morning. So it takes a while for the sun to hit them. But once the sun does around 10 a.m. or so, then it, so not having to go out at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning and defrost. So nice. Or dig out the cars.
Okay, so getting back to things. So anyway, congratulations on surviving your first year. And I don't mean that offhandedly. Some people do not survive their first year retirement because they're so much into the work thing that they quit, and it's just like, what do I do now?
Right.
And it's just living with a different kind of stress doing the company and the writing thing is an interesting experience. We are definitely not relaxing.
Well, I will say though that our kids had a very interesting comment about me retiring. They said that I would be good at retirement. They knew that I would be good at retirement, that I wasn't the type of person that would be, left hanging because I was so into my job. So I was ready for it.
Okay, we're going to talk about we're going to talk about more about March, but I don't know how much more. Well, let's just finish March so we can leave March behind. And really, the only wrap-ups that we did is because we were so busy. The only wrap-ups that we really did is we moved 2 manuscripts forward. I have the VC romance. I'm on chapter 25 of doing the creative editing.
Right.
And going to give that back to you, and you're going to fix those comments. We're going to send it off for the round of editors to the professional editors. And I was seeing comments the other day about people who cannot afford professional editing, and I feel your pain.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap. There are days when I wonder if we should do it, and then when I get my comments back from my books, But
well, I will say that there are ways to do it without a professional edit. If you are a member of a writers group or something, you can usually find someone who has the background, maybe in English literature or something that will be able to help you. Just getting a fresh set of eyes on it if you can't afford a professional editor, but definitely if you've got the money. Yes, it's expensive, but do it.
I feel your guys' pain because it costs at least $1,000 a book. At least $1,000 a book for us to release with between editing and the cover and everything. So we feel your pain. But it's not to say that it's not money well spent. It is money well spent. It is extremely well spent between Terry, hi Terry, and and Red Adept. We're just blessed, and they earn their money when we make them earn their money.
And it is something that definitely there is high overhead in putting out a book, and that's one of the things that we are very candid about discussing here because we don't want anybody to be blindsided if you decide to go the independent publishing route because there are a lot of upfront costs, and bluntly, we have not earned back even a tenth, I think, of what we've put out on books so far, but hopefully someday we will.
And we want to put out books that we're proud of. The other thing that's moving forward is I finished a book writing a book in March. It was just totally bizarre. So what happened is it's book 3 of the Maggie series, Sheriff in Nevada, and I had 30,000 words, and so I said on March 1st, I'm going to finish this book. And around March 20th or 21st, something like that, I added 40,000 more words to it, and I wrote the last sentence, and it's like, oh.
Now
what?
a little backstory on that is that JT mentioned he had about 30,000 words already, because this is something that people have been asking about for years. The sheriff books have been popular, and there has been the comment that well, will there ever be another book in the series? And it was left open for that. So JT tried to get this book written a few times, I think, but wasn't really inspired. And sometimes you have to wait for that flash of inspiration, because like you said, all of a sudden there was the book.
Yep.
And it happens. And that's writing in a nutshell. It's not always a linear process. You're not always going to sit down and write a book from beginning to end. Sometimes it takes years and years for a book to finally get to a point where you feel like this is what it should be.
Yep. So I'm going to let the Maggie book sit for a little bit longer because other things are going on. I have ideas for a couple more, at least one more chapter. Excuse me. So that's probably going to add, another 3,000-4,000 words to it, and then and I'm still shocked that it
finally came
together. It's an uncomfortable subject, but it's a subject that absolutely needs to be seen in print. And so, Terry, watch out. This is going to be coming in your direction sometime soon. It's we're shooting for Nevada Day on this particular book. The two other books that are in the queue of mine that are right now is Maggie Book 2. Excuse me, not Maggie Book 2. Serving Salvation Book 2 is at the editors right now getting proofing, and it's going to get back to us sometime in mid-April. And that one is for mid-May.
Mid-May.
And then book 3, Terry just finished and got it back to me. And so I need to incorporate and rewrite because, Terry is always right. And then, you guys just don't mess with terrycase.com. And then I need to get that over to Red Adept. And when did we have that one scheduled? I think it was before.
I think that was actually for your birthday.
That's my birthday in July. And your book is aiming for your birthday. So
in June.
We're talking May, June, July.
I have another one planned hopefully for September,
and then October.
And then maybe my third one for the year might be December.
Right. So
fingers crossed.
So boom. So we're busy so we were, of course, we're always talking about new books. Like we want to do the prequel to From Tonda to Tiara. It's not going to happen in 2025 because we're so fully employed. We may be able to draft out some outlines and stuff like that, but getting it published in 2025 is not going to happen.
No, but we have already talked out what we plan to do with that book. It will be a prequel to Tundra, so that should be interesting. It'll be fun. I enjoyed the process of co-writing. Yep,
that's fun. For those of us, so that's the book thing, and that's the wrap up of March.
Yeah, basically, it was a lot of words.
Yeah, so today's, the newsletter that you put out this week will be...
Oh, thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
I have to do a newsletter.
Yeah, we got to do our newsletter.
Yes.
The thing that did significantly happen this week is we did a road trip to beautiful Sparks, Nevada. I used to live many years in Sparks. It's my favorite town.
Sparks is not what it used to be.
Sparks is not what it used to be.
Changed quite a bit, and we were having that discussion while we were there.
Victorian Square has completely morphed what I remember Sparks being. I see, I'm an old Nevadan, and I remember that street there that's now Victorian Square. That's not Prater. What is that? Oh, it's not important.
It's not 4th Street, is it?
No, I don't remember.
4th Street goes all the way down.
No.
The Halfway Club, I think, is on 4th Street, right?
But anyway, the street that's right in front of the what used to be John Esquagas Nugget.
Yes.
Used to be old brick buildings, a lot of businesses. Just typical, Western Nevada brick buildings.
Facades.
And they're gone. There's a few left. But it's like my first bank account was in one of those buildings, and that's gone.
And across on the other side of the Nugget, it is still the Nugget, but new ownership. On the other side is the rail line that goes. It's basically the transcontinental rail line. That was the Sparks sighting, and they had the rail shops back there, and the roundhouse and the rail shops. The roundhouse is long gone. The rail shops are coming down. That's where the Harrah's Auto Collection used to be. That's now the National Auto Museum in downtown Reno near the Aces Ballpark. So things have shifted quite a bit.
Yeah, and I was just thinking that the Nugget is trapped between the rail line and the freeway.
Interstate 80.
The
Yep.
I-80, Interstate 80 is raised in that neighborhood, and it's just, the nugget is just trapped in that area right there. So
It's kind of a strange setup because they have the two massive towers of the nugget, and then, like you said, the rail line and the interstate. So it's really landlocked.
So that entire area has transformed, you know, in our lifetime. It's transformed quite a bit. But they've done some really neat things, and I don't mean to imply that it's not a bad thing. They put in a big, you know, stadium kind of entertainment center, which is pretty cool.
I think it's part of the nugget, actually.
Yeah, and they've got, you know, condos there, which have a lovely view of the nugget and the rail yards. So it's, you know...
Everybody has their
But the
specific
two
view.
things that really caught our eye and that we visited was, first of all, was the Depot Gallery that is owned by, the land is owned by Sparks, but
City
it
of
is
Sparks.
operated by the Sierra Arts Foundation.
Yes.
And so we went and we visited my books, because my books are there, and it's a cute little place.
It's very cute.
And we're hoping that we're going to be recording some writers' podcasts there with some our colleagues from Northern Nevada, our colleagues who are also members of the Sierra Arts Foundation, as we are. And we hope to, you know, release those starting in May as part of the Nevada Authors Network.
Yep.
And so we're going to be releasing those. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to gin up some interest and marketing for our colleagues as part of a joint partnership with the Sierra Arts Foundation.
Right.
Really cool stuff. I hope this all comes together. We have a bunch of writers already scheduled to go. We're going to show up one day. We're going to get all these writers interviewed. We're going to go boom, 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 boom. And that's my hope anyway. And then we're going to edit it, and then we're going to release the video and audio to the Sierra Arts Foundation, to the writers, and to us. And then on their designated day, going to release it and highlight them for a week. How awesome is this?
And this is something that we kind of been talking about a little bit, because we have not only the Carson Hume website, but we also have the Two More Books website. And we hadn't quite figured out what we wanted to do with the Two More Books website, but we knew we wanted to do something to support other independent authors. And these podcasts will be posted on that website. So if you are interested, I'm sure we'll probably have a subscription to the Two More Books website. Or
yeah, if there's
kind of
newsletters, you can sign up for the newsletter so you can receive when we do posts and things like that. And if you go out and look at the website now, which is of course twomoorebooks.com, what you'll see is this placeholder where we'll be posting the podcast. So that'll be, you know, that's going to be kind of fun.
And it will be also, we'll be broadcasting it out on the Two More Books social media platforms that we've already had sitting in wait. But we're going to start amping that up this year. So that actually is one of the things that we've been doing this past month or past 6 weeks or so, is that we've been preparing to do this. And JT's been doing a lot of the administrivia for that, scheduling the people. We need to make sure everybody's a member of Sierra Arts Foundation. They're selling their books in the Depot Gallery bookstore. And I believe we recently got communication that they're expanding the bookstore. They will also be selling books out of the Riverside Gallery, where we have our monthly meetings. So we have a lot going on in that area. And that's some of what we've been doing in March.
Yeah, we're trying to, it is assumed by many that Nevada, especially Northern Nevada, is this vast wasteland. Physically it kind of is, because there is a lot of open space here, but also culturally, and that's not right. There is just so much community built up around the idea of art, not only visual art, but the word, literary art. And this is going to be our opportunity to help the Sierra Arts Foundation do this. Now, we're not looking for any kind of monetary compensation. We're not asking for anything back from these folks. We're doing this because we believe in the literary community of Northern Nevada, and so this is our part to push that. Now, candidly, I don't know how long this podcast is going to last, because it's, the response was not as great as I hope it is. So hopefully once we get going and people see what we're doing, they'll say, hey, this is something we want to be a part of. If you are interested, if you are a Northern Nevada writer, become a member of the Sierra Arts Foundation. That is the only qualification.
Well,
and also,
have your book in
you have to have your book, and you have to be a member of the Sierra Arts Foundation, which is an annual fee, not that much. and you have to have your books in the Depot Gallery or the Riverside Gallery.
Well, I
And
think in the end, you'll end up in both. And it's good to have your books out in a public location because it can be hard to get them in bookstores.
right, and that's it. And then you let me know, and we'll work it out. So,
And just to say that becoming a member of the Sierra Arts Foundation, there are monthly it's the Sierra Arts Literary Community Meeting. There are a lot of great members. We work together. We share our triumphs and our struggles. And I believe you can also, if you are not otherwise employed and don't have other access, you can get insurance through the Sierra Arts Foundation as an artist. So there are benefits to joining beyond just being able to do our podcast.
yep, definitely. The other thing that happened when we did our Sparks trip is we got depressed.
Getting older, folks.
Oh my gosh, getting old is just not for the weak. So we went into the Sparks Museum, which was pretty cool.
Sparks Heritage Museum.
Sparks Heritage Museum, and it's a nice place. We got some books. We just happened to be there. They got a shipment, a donation of Nevada books. So they were cleaning out old Nevada books, and so we got them for $2 a pop. And among those was we got 2 books by James Holtz, who was a family friend. My grandparents, of course, were part of the University of Nevada community. And so if you looked at the University of Nevada directory for many years, you would see James Holtz, and then right below him, you'd see Robert Hume. Obviously, J.T. Hume, Robert Hume. So you would see Robert Hume right below there, and that's my grandfather. And he was a friend of the family for a while, for many years. And so picked up a couple of those books, including the textbooks that Nevada middle schoolers have had to read for many years. I keep saying many. But also I think it was also my college book. When doing Nevada history. James Holtz wrote both the middle school book that I did back in the day when they used the printing press to print these books, but it was also my college book by both of those were James Holtz, and I think we picked up my version. I think we picked up yours too.
I'm trying to remember, did we take that Nevada history class together or not?
I don't think we did.
We took some classes together.
Yeah, but anyway,
yeah.
But the point that I was trying to make is that the Heritage Museum is just really sweet, and we just went back there. We found a T-shirt that Cece designed as part of her jobs as the senior archivist at the State Archives. She designed a T-shirt, and so it's like you go in there and we see it, and it's like, whoa, small world, baby.
Well, it's funny because the T-shirt was actually designed for History Day, Nevada History Day, and it was many years ago now, as many again, but at that time my supervisor was the Nevada History Day coordinator, and there has been History Day was a challenging experience because there's, you have to wrangle volunteers and everything, and there's a lot involved. So we were trying to save money where we could, and I designed it based on the specifications given to me by my supervisor. So didn't really even hit me initially what I was looking at. I mean, I knew because obviously I designed it, but looking at it, when you said that, I was like, right. I did that.
So we saw books, we saw T-shirts. They have just a marvelous collection there in the gift shop.
Great
and then you
gift
go
shop.
in the back, and you see the museum part. And like I said, I spent many of my young years in Sparks. So I picked out things. Notably Bertha's harness. If I say Bertha in northern Nevada, and you're of a certain age, you know exactly what I'm talking about right away.
Bertha and Tina,
Bertha and Angel. You know that I'm talking about the Jonasquaga's nuggets. Elephants. They used to have elephants that used to go to the Nevada Day Parade and everything. But if I say Bertha, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But not, and that just sort of, this sort of went right later.
That was a long time ago now.
It's just sort of like, oh man, Bertha. But also, you go around and you see displays, they're military displays. Of course, Sparks was a railroad town, so a significant number of railroad pictures and artifacts, just wonderful artifacts and pictures that our son Gar would just absolutely, just, if they leave the doors unlocked one night, he'll be in there and they'll be gone.
Real train buff.
Real train. But not only that, but you see, there was the Sparks Police exhibition, which was really sweet. And, the thing that hit us was I hate to use the word because I'm just poor CC, but the antique kitchen implements and things like that. One or two of which we have. We
Oh,
inherited it from my grandmother.
a lot more than one or two.
And so we were seeing, we were figuring out, and some of them came quite easily. We saw an old Underwood typewriter, not many years older from the model that I learned to type on.
Oh, those old manual typewriters, because I learned on an IBM Selectric, which was really sweet. It was really, very easy.
Yeah.
I never mastered manual typewriters because if anybody is in our age range, you know how much finger strength you need. And then the keys would get all jammed up if you did it too fast and you had to untangle them.
Yeah, it was just a really nice walk down memory lane. So to the city of Sparks for dedicating the renovation of Victorian Square, because it becomes a tourist spot, but that includes the gallery and the Heritage Museum. Kudos. So it's just a really sweet area of town. So
and there are other historic things there that were not open at the time. I believe the Sparks Heritage Museum, they have some train cars across the street near the depot, where they actually will give you tours of the train cars. She mentioned that they do that. I'm guessing probably on the weekends or during events. So definitely check it out. And you mentioned the Underwood at the Sparks Heritage Museum, but in the bookshop at the Depot Gallery, there's a Royal. And if anyone is familiar with Robert Laxalt, the author, very well-known Northern Nevada author, he wrote a book called Travels with My Royal. So I was thinking about that when I saw that typewriter. Also an old manual, but there's just so much history and connection. And like JT said, there is a thriving literary community and arts community in general, because in July, Reno is Art Town, basically. That's the slogan, Reno is Art Town. And for the entire month of July, there are arts events, dance, music, visual arts. They're trying to roll in things like literary crawls. So definitely Reno and Carson City too, because now we have a mural festival and we have Mark Twain days. Nevada is not a wasteland when it comes to the arts.
Okay. So kudos again to Sparks for all their I want to say look into the future to make this into a nice little tourist stop.
Right.
Okay, we're going to shift gears a little bit. We are going to talk a little bit more about our future, just very quickly, and notably first April 13th. If you are tired of looking at us or seeing us, well, too bad, because we're going to be in person over at the Nevada State Museum with 3 of our books. We're going to be over there with Zoe and the 2 sheriff books. We're going to be selling those in person as part of the museum's annual...
It's a spring something sale.
Spring something sale.
I think it's, there will be other authors there, obviously, that are selling their books through the Nevada Museum store. So obviously JT has books in there as well. And so it could be a chance to meet not only us, but other Northern Nevada authors. I'm not sure if they're also including other artisans, like they sell things like jewelry in there, so there may be other people as well.
So we're going to be there, we'll be there on April 13th, which is Sunday?
Yes, it is a Sunday.
So, and just as a note, we're going to be preparing for the writers event on the 13th, so we'll probably do the podcast on Saturday the 12th. As we get closer, we'll remind. The other significant thing is coming up in June, and I just realized that that's coming up very fast. But on June 28th, we will be at Barnes and Noble. We're going to be selling. We're going to be signing and selling our books. And that's another exciting thing. So we're going to be bringing a full range of our books, including the sheriff books, Zoe, Tundra, maybe Serving Salvation. We're still nailing that down, and so we'll have a better idea of what books we're going to bring after this signing. But that's going to be exciting. We're going to be right there in front of the entrance on June 28th, beginning at 1 o'clock. And hopefully we'll have a couple of more books in the inventory by then, hopefully, cross fingers. And it's just going to be very, very exciting. So we'll be doing a big old book signing, and hopefully, we'll see you, who, are
if you're in the Northern Nevada area, if you're in, the Lake Tahoe area, Truckee, South Tahoe, places like that, anyone who's familiar with the Reno Barnes and Noble, it's on South Virginia Street.
Right.
Near the freeway. The we've been told that we will be set up as you go in the front doors near the escalator going to the upstairs part. So we'll be right there.
Yeah.
When you walk in, we're going to be in your face
Yeah.
with our stand-up banner and all of our goodies and things like that. So we're going to be spreading the word locally. A lot of our colleagues in CR Arts have done these signings, and we've heard that they can be very successful for some people. So we're hoping that we have a successful signing so that maybe we can do more of them.
Yeah, we get to meet you, and we get to sign some books, and we get to chat about writing with people, because I'm sure,
sit in the
because these things just these things are just fun, and so we're looking forward to it.
Well, I will say that this Barnes and Noble really has a kind of a place in my heart, because we went to several midnight book signings or book releases at this Barnes and Noble. I went with my kids, and remember going in the early evening, and they had a lot of events planned, and just we were there for so long. And this wasn't just us, it was everybody, and I'm sure you will probably be able to infer which books I'm talking about, but people were basically just sitting in the aisles reading while they were waiting for the midnight book release. So going into that Barnes and Noble always gives me the warm fuzzies. So I look forward to adding a new pleasant memory to the experience.
Yeah, it should be fun, and we are so looking forward to it. So we are going to have some things going on, and so March was kind of prepping for that. And April's going to be busy between between our signing at the Nevada State Museum and other events, and doing the podcast and getting those all done, and just
and the coming week we have a trip.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see baseball on Wednesday.
Yeah, baseball.
And not just
Guess which team we're going to see. Guess which team we're going to see. Yeah.
We've already talked about that the Athletics are playing in Sacramento. So we will be seeing the Cubs and the Athletics on Wednesday. So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And the last announcement we're going to make here, just, that we've, just very quickly is we're going to make it is that we've gone out to our bookstore and we've slashed all the prices. We want to get rid of our inventory, but more importantly, we want to get the inventory out the door. I got to tell you, folks, we slashed these prices. They're fantastic. They are comparable to the Amazon Barnes and Noble paperbacks, paperback prices. So if you are part of the population that is hesitating whether to support the billionaires, let me tell you, we're the opposite of the billionaires. We're the way opposite of the billionaires. So if you want to support a small business and you want to get some awesome books, quality books that we spend a lot of money on creating, we already talked about that, and people have given great reviews to, here is your chance. Go to our bookstore, and the link is right on our front page at www.carsonhume.com, and just go through our books and spend money, because you would not only receive our love, but you'll receive goodies.
Well, and it's funny, speaking of baseball, so this just reminded me that we would autograph the books for you, and our good friend Fergie Jenkins, and going to spring training.
Yeah. Hall of Famer.
Yes, JT made the joke at one point that Fergie, if you stop, Fergie will sign something. Yeah. So we'll do that for you. We'll sign your books. Definitely, we would have your gratitude, because actually stocking our little bookstore costs us money. So, having it sitting there is, we're not getting a lot of return on investment yet, but we're hopeful.
Yeah, we're hopeful.
And that's why we keep doing this.
Yeah, it'll get there some days. We're going to keep going strong.
Yep.
Alrighty. We've gone through our list. We've gone through our list here. Unless you can think of something else.
Well, there's just like we said, we had a lot of behind the scenes things going on in March, and we're looking forward to everything that's coming up, because it's going to be a big year. It actually already has been a big year. That we talk about not selling a lot, but we have started to see little incremental increases in our sales. We are starting to get a little bit of attention, obviously not on the scale of somebody very well known like our Uncle Steve. I mean, I can only imagine what his book release days are like.
Because, and the time that we started talking about Uncle Steve 10 seconds ago, he's already sold 1 million books. Right.
It's wild to think that there was a time when he was so discouraged by his writing that he famously threw Carrie in the trash.
Yeah.
and his wife retrieved it and said that he needed to submit it. So we all start in this place. Some of us get to the Stephen King level and some of us don't. But, you know, we're at least hoping to find our tribe, the people who are interested in reading what we write.
You know, it's a long slog, but you know, we're looking forward to becoming the 10-year overnight success.
We're going to be much more than 10 years at this point.
Yeah, but we're just gonna never give up, never surrender kind of thing. So you know, so please continue to join us on this journey. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. We're gonna get this done. And even if we don't get it done, the opportunity to share our stories with you is kind of an honor just by itself. You know, it is a lift to do a podcast video cast like this. It is a lift to get up on Sunday mornings and drink coffee and then, you know, assemble all of this. But it's one we do, you know, gladly, and it's one we do without thinking because we've gotten so used to it. I mean, this is episode 217, and you know, 217 episodes of this, and you know, we're still going strong, and we're still having fun, and we appreciate everybody who has either joined us newly. Is that a new word? Who are new followers, or you know, are followers with experience. We really. We appreciate each and every one of you.
And with that being said, if you are new to the experience, there is a lot that you can go back and look at. I don't remember how long we've been doing the video, but the audio recordings, 217 episodes. And we've been through, I mean, we started this during lockdown. We've had things like an earthquake during one of our podcasts. So I don't remember which one it was, but I do remember we were recording upstairs.
Yeah.
And it's just, we've recorded on the road, we've recorded in Canada, we've done a lot. So if you want to go back and check out and see what we've been up to, and you're new to this experience, then we'll keep you busy for a while.
Yeah, that's, you know, there are people that do go through our old podcasts.
Yes.
We see that. And you will see our house too, because as Cece said, we've recorded upstairs, we've recorded in our living room, we're in our dining room now, and we've recorded from our basement. And I still don't feel like we have a permanent place yet, but we'll figure it out. You know.
I have ideas if we ever hit the jackpot that I do want to have a permanent podcast studio, and I have a space in mind for that, but we're going to need money, so please buy our books.
Please buy our books. Okay, we've done this enough. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
No, I think we didn't mention that coming up, is it next weekend, I think, next Sunday, will be the monthly CR Arts Literary Community Meeting. So that will be another thing. We will have a newsletter coming out in the next week.
Right. So
we have those two things coming up right away too. And so, you know, we may not seem like we've been doing a lot, but we are.
Yeah, we're keeping busy. So we hope that you enjoyed the podcast. We hope you enjoyed the video. We hope to see you next Sunday at CR Arts Foundation, a literary council, literary community, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're blathering now. So we be done. So y'all take care of yourself. Y'all be good to yourselves, and be here next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Over there is CC.
Over there's JT.
Y'all take care of yourself. Love you lots. Bye.
Bye.